That's it right there, man. When you hear the jam, you know it's time.
You
Uh,
know it's
you
time.
know it's time when you hear that jam, man. You jump up and you're ready to hear some high school football preview shows. Today, man, we're jumping into AAA, six AAA, and a couple of teams from seven AAA that we follow.
Yes, sir.
And we'll get right to it, man. With we'll start with six AAA. Last year's region champion, Adairsville Tigers, 10-2.
Yeah, Adairsville, they lose a few key pieces, but they have a good bit returning though. They lose. What does it say there? Five first team all region players.
Yep, by first team all region, including your player of the year, Chris Roper, who was our second overall player of the year in the whole Northwest Georgia area.
Yeah, but
Uh,
go ahead and read off what they returned there.
yeah, you got six first teamers coming back, including offensive lineman of the year, Bobby Campbell, and three second team all region guys.
Yeah, and to go along with Bobby Campbell, they returned their quarterback. Jonathan Gaw. That will be big, and you got Ethan Bloom, which is he'll be a senior next year, about 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns on the ground. He'll probably have more yardage this year just because of the sheer fact that Chris Roper is no longer there. So I think I'm not going to say they're going to be the favorite, but I think this team is going to be a pretty good team again this year.
Like I said, this is a non-prediction show, but
Yeah,
it's hard not to predict Adairsville Tigers to win it. When you look at this, got
well,
nine guys coming back off a 10-2 team.
yep,
They got a rising junior man that I really liked last year, Jamarian Pullum.
he's
I
on the
did.
list.
He is. I mean, if you see him, he looks the part. I think he's going to have a huge season this year for the Tigers. Coach Cudd, man, his first year last year with Adairsville.
Yeah,
First
first year.
playoff win since 2015. First region title since 2001. Kind of look for more of the same.
I agree. I think they keep it rolling.
Number two last year in six AAA, Ringgold Tigers, 7-4, losing six first team all region guys, including defensive player of the year Trent Baldwin. Four guys returning who made the all region teams last year.
Yeah, one of the biggest news, I guess, coming out of Ringo this offseason is Coach Atkins retiring after it seemed like forever at Ringo. I remember back when I played, he was there. I guess that means I'm getting old. Coach Chris takes over. He's going to have sophomore running back Haddon Fries. You was impressed with this guy last year as a freshman.
Yeah.
I remember you told me a couple times, hey, Ringo's got this freshman running back up there that could be all that in a bag of chips, I guess you say.
Yeah, he isn't exactly the tallest guy in the world, man, but he's built. I mean, the dude's like a fire hydrant.
Yeah, like a bowling ball.
Bowling ball, yeah.
Get going, there's been plenty of guys like that be very successful, not only on the high school level, but on other levels as well.
And you said, you mentioned about Coach Akins retiring after 16 years, Coach Austin Crisp taking over. Biggest compliment in the world a coach can receive, I think, is when his fellow coaches have a lot of respect for him. And Coach Crisp is a very well-liked guy. I think they're in good hands. Like I said, they got a linebacker coming back, Bryce Hart, kind of an under-the-radar guy, sophomore last year. I think he'll have a big season.
Yeah. Some of the other guys that I have pointed out here, junior DB Keyshawn Taylor, senior defensive lineman Brent Rabby, and then Logan Roberts, a junior DB. I think those guys are going to help Ringo push for another playoff run.
Your third team last year in six AAA, the surprising Cahulla Creek Colts, 7-4, losing six first team all region guys. Only have one coming back, a second teamer, long snapper Chase Ward.
I got you. Losing their quarterback, one of my favorite players, in the area. You know, always like Mr. Kinnaman, and I'm not sure what he's doing now, if he's playing on the next level or what. But he was a game changer. He could run, he could throw. Seems like he always made the right decision, and he had some guys to throw to too. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, one of your bullet points here, Drew Carter, I believe it is, takes over
Mm-hmm.
Danny Wilson. You know, Danny Wilson is he's shuffled over to I believe he's the defensive coordinator at Chattooga now, correct?
That's what I heard.
So. Yeah. Yeah, so that will be that's a interesting move. I like the head coach, and you know I'll speak wonders about their whole um, organization over there. I guess you'd say just fine people, and they treated us perfect when we went to Cahola last year. The principal and all those groups even got a free hat, man. You know, we'll be back for the Trine and Cahola spring game, so
Mm-hmm.
excited to go back over there and shake a hand with those guys again. But back to the field part of it, you know, you got Nate Tilley coming back, senior wide receiver. I like this guy. This guy can make plays. If they can find somebody to get it to him. That's one of the main concerns there.
Yeah, you kind of hit on it, man. You know, with Case Kinnaman leaving, I think the biggest loss, Danny Wilson, man, he did a great job there at Cahola Creek. Most wins, first playoff appearance. They were in the battle for the region title up until the last week of the season. But I hear great things about Drew Carter. I think they'll be in good hands. We'll see what they do going forward. And if you're going to the Cahola Creek Trine game on the 20th, I think it is, Cahola Creek is selling barbecue plates online, $10, includes your ticket and your meal.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I will look that link up and I'll post it. I'll post it in the chat here, so anybody that is interested in that, you can go ahead and get you a ticket advance. I think it's $5 at the gate, and the whole meal is, I think it's $10.50 for everything. So I mean, a barbecue meal for $5.50. That's a deal.
Great deal.
Yes, sir. And it's on a Saturday night, 7:00. So that'll be a good one.
All right, man. Number 4 team last year, Bremen Blue Devils, 5-6. They lose 2 first-team All-Region guys and return 8 first and second teamers.
Yes, and I was one of those Bremen fans last year, and I think it's going to grow a little bit this year. I think Bremen's got a chance to be even better this year. You know, I'm looking down their list. I'm not sure who's going to play quarterback. But, I see Jonah Hatchett, receiver. I see Trent McPherson at running back. And I see a long list of guys that are pretty darn good players, returning. And they're getting ready to make another playoff run.
Yeah, I tell you, one of the things I was surprised by, man, when I was doing my research is, the games kind of get all mixed together at the end of the season. But the last 2 weeks of the season, they lost to Cahola Creek by 4 points and to Adairsville 14-7.
Man.
So you're looking at 11 points that could have put them at the top in 6 AAA last year.
Could have absolutely put them at the top.
And like I said, with 8 guys coming back, first and second teamers, I think they'll be right there in the mix. You can't sleep on the Bremen Blue Devils.
No, sir.
9 straight playoff appearances, all 7 years under head coach Davis Russell. Davis Russell's done a great job. I know the fans love him down there. Like I said, not a prediction show, but I think Bremen is one of the 4 teams that make it to the playoffs next year in 6 AAA.
All
right.
One
of their competitors here, Gordon Lee Trojans, 4-6 last year, 5th place. Losing 3 first-teamers, including Athlete of the Year Nate Dunphy. Returned 2 second-team All-Region guys, including tight end Sam Sarton.
Exactly. That when I think Gordon Lee, that's the first name that comes to my mind is Sam Sarton. Big-bodied guy, tight end. I think he played some on the defensive side too. I like the size and ability there, and this will just be his junior year, so I think he'll make another step forward. Like a lot of the teams we talk about, this is going to be a team, breaking in a new quarterback. I think they lost the quarterback to graduation, so interested to see what they do in a year two in 3A.
Yeah, like I said, they jumped from single A to 3A, finishing 4 and 6 in 5th place. I mean, pretty good start, man. I mean, I can guarantee you one thing with Coach Gross up there: Gordon Lee is going to run the football.
Yep,
They're gonna,
they will be physical.
your 6th place finisher last year in 6 AAA, the Lafayette Ramblers, a team that you saw early in the year, 3 and 7 last year.
And I'll see them again early in the year as the schedules flip flop. We'll be on the road week 1 at Lafayette, and when I think Lafayette, I circled that one. A couple different guys actually. Dawson Pendergrass he'll be a senior next year. He played a little quarterback and DB, really good player. Noah Johnson, big guy on the offensive line, and you can't forget Calais Finley. I think he had some sort of injury last year that held him out around half or a little less than half of the year. That guy's deadly. He gets the second level, he's gone. He played a little quarterback and running back, and I guarantee you he's on everybody's radar this year.
Yeah, when we look at what they lose in return, he ain't even listed on the return list because he didn't play enough last year, I guess, to qualify for the.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have to throw him in there with Pendergrass and Noah Johnson. They lose 2 first-team guys. Iron Man Jaden Morris played wide receiver and defensive back for him. Kind of an interesting stat here, though. Only 1 playoff appearance for the Ramblers since 1969.
I find that hard to believe. I mean, that's crazy, man.
And I will say with honesty, I was born in 1969, so that's a long time ago.
So you know how long ago that's been.
That's a guarantee. Your 7th place team last year in 6 AAA, LFO Warriors, 2 and 8, losing 4 first-team All-Region guys. Have 2 second-teamers coming back.
Yeah, I think the second teamers will probably be Peyton Simpson, the linebacker, and Jared Mitchell at DB.
Yep.
And this is another team. I'm pretty sure is losing their quarterback. Also losing very good athlete Trayvon Guide on the outside. So he'll be missed. And then a few others to go along with him. Going to have to find somebody to fill in those positions, but.
The ceiling's very high on that Jared Mitchell, man. He's a rising sophomore. I think he was the only freshman to make it first or second team last year in 6 AAA. I think he's 6'2", 6'3".
Big guy.
Get some guys around him. I think they can make some noise, I think the 4th playoff spot in 6 AAA is wide open. I think any of these teams we've mentioned can slide into the playoffs this year, including this next team we're going to talk about. The Ridgeland Panthers.
Panthers strong.
0-10 last year, finished 8th. Losing 0 first-teamers, but they've got 1 first-teamer coming back and 2 second-teamers.
Yeah, the second-teamers, one of the linebackers, Kane Brown, I come across his Twitter or something one day, and he looks the part.
Yeah,
I like the guy.
And you got the head coach's son coming back at linebacker, Braylon Pritchett. I mean, I've seen him on Twitter a lot. I know he's going to camps. Great shape. I
know this team was 0-10 last year, but it was not the same. It was not the same Ridgeland team that it had been in the past. I believe they're moving forward for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I know they're going to have to find some skill guys. I don't know if they're going to use a lot of young guys this year. I'm real curious about them. I know May 19th, man, they're hosting Murray County. That should be a good spring test for both of them.
Yeah, I think young running back Bryson Donald could have a good year. And then senior running back Malachi Hutchinson, along with Parker Metcalf out at the tight end spot.
All right, man. That concludes 6 AAA. Let's jump over and look at our 7 AAA teams. Pickens Dragons, 5-6. Finished third last year in 7 AAA. Losing 3 first-team All-Region guys. Have 6 All-Region guys coming back.
And that will include the quarterback, Mr. Sam
Striker.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to butcher it, so
yeah.
slowly. But yeah, I this guy's been playing quarterback seems like forever as well, and he'll be a senior this year. I look for big things from him. Find a couple more people to get the ball to go along with Marcus Pike and Isaiah Williams, and I think they will. And I think Pickens has a pretty good year this year.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing they have to fill is the offensive line. I know they're losing a couple of big guys up front, and Caden Hampton at linebacker spot. It's going to be tough shoes to fill, but I think their offense should put up a ton of points this year. And you have to give a shout out to the great job that Coach Myers has done up there, man. They started out last year. I don't know how to say it. Terrible. Fannin County put about 50 on them and a half, and you thought they were done.
I totally agree. We did think they were done, but I will say this for them: it was not exactly the easiest schedule coming out the gate. So they took their lumps and they improved. And that's
reeled off 4 straight wins in October, man, to make the playoffs. I think they were underdogs in 3 of those games.
And they did what they had to do. They just went one game at a time and knocked them off. That was probably the most impressive part.
Yep.
Is he's coming up in the clutch.
Gilmer County Bobcats, Paul Standard, second year up there in LJ, 5-5 last season. I think they played for a playoff spot up until the very last week of the season. Losing 4 first-teamers, including Athlete of the Year Will Kiker. Got 0 first-team kids coming back, but 7 second-teamers. And I think most of them are rising juniors.
Yeah, a few juniors. Probably Blaine Banks on the line of scrimmage. Kyle Cowart. You look. I don't know if they're returning. I don't think they're returning quarterback. I think they're going to be looking for.
Yeah, the quarterback's a second teamer. He's a sophomore last year.
Isaac
Rellinger.
Yeah. I see him now. Sorry, I had him written down, but Blake Reese, senior tight end too, is somebody to look out for. But I think Coach Standard he'll have the guys ready. Interested to see how Gilmer does. This year.
Yeah, that 7-3A is pretty competitive. With White County and Lumpkin County and Pickens and Gilmer, you can probably throw them all in a hat and draw one out. It's going to be a battle. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Gilmer's right there week 10, battling for a playoff spot again.
Yep, I totally agree.
Been 9 years, man, since the Bobcats have been to the postseason. I know those fans over there in Gilmer are ready. All right, that concludes the AAA preview show, man. We got a couple of good ones coming up next, 2A and Single A. I know we have a lot of 2A and Single A fans around. Those shows will be crazy.
Yeah, those will have a lot of meat in them. We not that we know more about. It's just a lot more teams in our area, our more local area, the Rome area and such, and teams that we're more familiar with, so we may be able to throw some more stuff at it. But we're going to research them just like we researched everybody else and try to, solve the riddle, I guess, of these teams. And, we're excited for spring. I don't know about you. I'm excited to watch a little football, get out to a few practices. And I've got at least 3 spring games on my list, and if I can find one that doesn't play on one of those 3 days, I might be at 4. So,
I think I'm gonna get out and watch some football Saturday morning, man. Cass, ride over there and see what they got going on.
I got you.
They're starting 8 o'clock Saturday morning.
There you go. If you hadn't posted your spring schedule, and go ahead and post it on at Northwest Georgia Football on Twitter, and we'll get you added to our list so everybody can go and check out your spring game.
Yeah, no, like I said, if you watch the show, man, we greatly appreciate it. If you come across us on Twitter, whatever, give us a like, give us a retweet, follow us on YouTube. We're all over the place.
Yeah, when the season gets started, if you see us in the stands, tell us how bad our pick was the previous week. I mean, it's happened.
It has happened.
I'm sitting in the second row one day. I believe I was at Darlington, and somebody hollered at me and said, "Hey, who'd you pick in this game?" And I said, "I can't say because I think I'm sitting on the trying side." Anyway, but yeah, it's fun, and that's what we do it for, the fun.
Yeah, fun, absolutely. Like I said, I'm not going to say the name. I'm not going to say the name of the team, but I was at a game last year and that happened to me. I was sitting on their side, and somebody down in the front row just stood up and looked back, and they said, "Why are you sitting on our side? You didn't even pick us."
I mean, it's just a pick. I mean, it's not like we're cheering against anybody. Just because I pick one team over another doesn't mean I'm cheering against anybody. We want everybody to do good. I'd love to see a close game.
Absolutely. Well, all right, man. Enjoyed it, and we'll see you again for the two-way show.